Now, my first question is 5 pi over 2 on the unit circle within one revolution? Is 5 pi over 2 on your unit circle as you see it on your papers? No. Okay, 5 pi over 2 is greater than 2 pi. Here's how I know it's greater than 2 pi. All right, 2 pi would be how many pi's out of 2? 4. 2 pi would be the same as 4 pi out of 2. And 5 pi out of 2 is greater than that. So I'm going to start off doing a little bit of scratch work. I'm going to take 5 pi over 2, and I'm going to subtract 1 period, 1 rotation, 1 revolution around the circle, which is 2 pi. Now, since we're working with fractions, we've got to have like denominators. So I'm subtracting 2 pi, but I'm going to write my 2 pi as 4 pi over 2. So what's 5 pi over 2 minus 4 pi over 2? Pi over 2. So I know the sine of 5 pi over 2 is really equal to the sine of pi over 2 plus 2 pi, 1 revolution. So the sine of 5 pi over 2 is really equal to the sine of just pi over 2. What's the sine of pi over 2? 1. How did I know to use 4 pi over 2?
Because you want to get a common denominator.
I wanted to get a common denominator, okay? When we're working with these functions that are greater than 2 pi, you're going to take off that period. You're going to subtract 2 pi. But I couldn't just put minus 2 pi because I needed a common denominator. So how exactly did I get from 2 pi to 4 pi over 2?
You just multiplied both sides by 2.
Yeah, okay. If my denominator was 2, and I wanted something equal to 2 pi, I take my denominator times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so I had 4 pi over 2. Okay, that's going to come in handy. What if, right now the cosine of 8 pi over 3, I'm going to start by doing that scratch work. I have 8 pi over 3, and I know that's more than 2 pi. So I want to take off one of those revolutions. So what am I going to subtract? It's got to be something over 3, and it needs to equal 2 pi. 6 pi over 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so 6 pi over 3 is equal to 2 pi. 8 pi over 3 minus 6 pi over 3 gives us what? 2 pi over 3. Is that on our unit circle? Yeah. Okay, so I've shown my scratch work. I'm going to go back up next to the problem and I'm going to say, all right, the cosine of 8 pi over 3 is really equal to the cosine of 2 pi over 3. What's the cosine of 2 pi over 3? Negative 1/2. And so my answer, the cosine of 2 pi over 3 equals negative 1/2. Cosine negative 7 pi over 2. So when I start with my scratch work, I'm going to take negative 7 pi over 2, and I'm going to add this time because I started with a negative and I want to get into the positives. What am I going to add? 4 pi over 2. Remember, we still want it to be equal to 2 pi, so I'm going to use 4 pi over 2 because 4 over 2 is 2. 4 pi over 2 is still 2 pi. So what do I get when I take negative 7 pi over 2 plus 4 pi over 2? Negative 3 pi over 2. That's still negative. I want a positive. Add again. So let's add on another period, another revolution. So if we add on 4 pi over 2 again, what do we get? Pi over 2. Is that workable?
Yes.
Yeah. So the cosine of negative 7 pi over 2 is equal to the cosine of pi over 2. What was the cosine of pi over 2? 0.